I did that for y'all. Yes, a show. We gotta laugh, y'all. Oh my God. A show where we interview stellar individuals whose work and legacy has profoundly uplifted our communities for the better. Each week, we interview a new guest. We take a deeper dive into the work that they're doing in their lives and collectively sharing experiences, excuse me, and ideas. Because you see, here at I Shall Bloom, you shall bloom, and we shall bloom. Today is a little different. Calling all targeted individuals. Yes, today, while we wait the victory, I have two guests here. You guys met Tanisha earlier today, about an hour or two ago, and we have Mr. Roger Nielsen. These two have been in the military and they are targeted individuals. So without further ado, I am going to introduce Mr. Nelson because Tanisha is usually ladies first, but Tanisha's already been on. So she's agreed to come back on because they are both in the military. So without further ado, we have Mr. Roger Nelson. Woo-hoo! Welcome, 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 Mr. Nelson. Yes. Woo! So, this show, Targeted Individual. What is a targeted individual to you?
Well, to me, a targeted individual, I didn't know I was targeted for a long time, even in the military.
The recording has started.
Until I got out to service, and it took a while, but I just thought life was normal.
Yeah.
I thought these were normal things. I didn't realize I was targeted. And then as I unfortunately became single and the kids went to college and it got worse and worse. And as I spoke to this young lady, it picked up, and then someone told me, well, you need to look at things. And as I found out, I was targeted. And it was really shocking. But I realize now that I was even targeted in the military. And I retired from the military, as this young lady did also. So that's how I found out.
Okay, so a life of a target.
Oh, we could.
Yeah, we're gonna have part 2s and 3s and 5s and
Yes.
6s and 10.
Let's see. To make it simple,
Yes.
Let's see. A life of a targeted individual is, let's see, they're going to gang stalk you. That means everyone's going to follow you. It could even be former military people. It could be firefighters. It could be police officers.
Yes.
It could be anybody. They come up and just to harass you. They could break into your homes. They could deface your character by saying different things about you, prevent you from staying employed, keep your neighbors. They could spread lies about you. They can ruin your credit. They can steal your mail.
Yes.
They can destroy your property. They can destroy your cars. They play with electricity. They destroy appliances. There's all kinds of things they do in this program just to make you angry. For what? I don't know. And then they play with which is called direct energy weaponry.
Yes.
And as we know, it's also EMF, which is electronic magnetic force.
Yes.
And then along with that, everyone thinks when you tell them, oh, you're crazy. Now, how do two people that did 20 years of service time, you're all of a sudden crazy? Well,
this is our military who are fighting our battles for us.
Yes, so.
Who are being shocked.
Mm-hmm. And then when you go to your family, it takes a while and then you get isolated. And the big thing about this whole program, if I could tell anyone, is a 4-letter word: fear. it conquers you and you have to fight it. Fear is nothing but evil, and you have to overcome it. You have to stand up against it, and you have to find that inner peace. And I found that inner peace by the Lord, and through God, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I will tell you, I surrender it all because this program is bigger than me. And I found that peace. You can't hurt me no more. You can't do nothing to me, and it's okay. If you take me out of here, it's okay, because I know where I'm going, and I'm okay with that. And at my age, I told my kids, if the party's over, the party's over. But I know the pink elephant now. At first, when you first don't know, as a targeted individual, I didn't know I was targeted. It's very strange. So you feel that, oh my goodness, what's going on, da da da. And you feel like you're the most hated person in the world, but you're not alone. All I can tell you is, if you need help, reach out. I reached out to targetedjustice.com. You can reach out to Sandra at I Shall Bloom. Get a support system somewhere. If you don't, you will be out there alone, and that's what they want.
That's right. That's good.
Say something, young lady. Talk.
You saw my interview earlier, but I wasn't aware. I had somebody tell me, if you saw my story earlier, I had a couple tell me that they didn't use the term the targeted individual per se, but they said that I was a victim of organized stalking and harassment, and that my character was being assassinated, and some slanderous remarks were being said about me underground, like behind my back. And that's the reason, if I noticed that people didn't associate with me or my neighbors didn't speak with me, they were saying this is the reason why. And I was told that I wasn't the only person who was going through this, that this is an actual program that puts people on a watch list for the sole purpose of making money. What I learned, when I was told that initially, I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of wrote it off as maybe they were delusional. They didn't know what they were talking about. As I said in my first personal one-on-one interview with Sandra, I was like, okay, that sounds like maybe some gossip or whatever that's just gotten out of control and somebody don't know what they're talking about. But as the years progressed, and especially when I retired from the military, I was unemployed for the first 3 or 4 months when I was out of the military, so I had a lot of time on my hands. I started doing research on my own. I started to experience break-ins, like I'd come downstairs, as I said in the first interview, and the psychological games that were played with me, my front door would be wide open. And that happened several times. And when I retired, and it just really unnerved me. It really rattled me. And then I started doing research, I remember what the couple told me, and I entered victims of organized stalking and harassment, and so much information came up. As I mentioned in the first interview, Ted Gunderson, the late Ted Gunderson, who was an FBI agent who was a whistleblower and who coined the term targeted individual, was the first one to blow the whistle and reveal this program. Statistics were that a large proportion of targeted individuals are single women who live by themselves, followed by military veterans, both categories of which I fall into. As the years progressed, I moved, I relocated from Hampton, where I retired at Langley Air Force Base, moved to Richmond, Virginia. The targeting followed me at my apartment complex there. And most of the people, my gang stalkers, were people that I served with. To this day, And even in the neighborhood where I live at, occasionally I can see when I come outside or go to the grocery store or whatever, every once in a while I'll see a person that I serve, and I'm talking about people that I served with when I was stationed all the way in Little Rock, Arkansas. I had a supervisor that was a former supervisor of mine. When I was in Little Rock, Arkansas, I saw her face. You know, when you're targeted, all your senses are just developed. I mean, your peripheral vision, because you have a hypervigilance. And, you know, I'm like, oh my goodness, okay. I was like, oh, so she's in on it. Then I see somebody else. They make it, that's the tactic that they use. They use, especially if it's someone that you had a problem with, a supervisor when I was stationed in Little Rock that I had problems with, and he was just a big time bigot. I saw him, I was like, okay, you know, it's like, oh, so he's in on it too, you know, pull up on the side and of me. I'm like, I feel like I'm in a dream, but you know, this is real. And, you know, research confirmed that that's the tactic that they use, the psychological games that they play. You know, they know that when you see these people from your past, you're gonna start to wonder, but you know, after a while, it's gotten to the point where it doesn't even, now that I know what they do, it doesn't even really faze me that much anymore. I mean, it makes me angry, but it doesn't even really bother me that much anymore. And you know, I have my moments where like I get mad at God. I'm like, you know, I'm like, of all the people that are doing stuff and that, you know, I'm just trying to live my life and live in peace like everybody else, but you're gonna single me out.
Yeah.
You know, and attack my character and slander my name. I was like, you know, this doesn't make any sense. But to go back, just jumping back and forth, but when I found out that I was targeted, it was a woman, Kathy Meadows. She's an advocate for targeted individuals. She's based in California. I've talked with her. And I contacted her, I had a consult with her, and she basically interrogated me and, you know, to connect the dots as to why, you know, when all of this got started. And I told her, I said, well, she said, well, where were you at before you got stationed at Langley Air Force Base and before you lived in Hampton? I said, I did 2 years in Korea. And she said, what was it like? I said, to be honest, I said, this was one of my toughest assignments. I said, I had some problems here. I said, well, first of all, I said, when I first got there, I was supposed to be the assistant NCOIC for material control, CE, combat engineers. They decided at the last minute when I got there that, no, well, you know, we're gonna change you and put you in a job. The job was procedures and analysis, which is basically, you know, you write the OIs and everything, and basically the procedures for the squadron, for the supply squadron. And, you know, I was like, okay, I said, but, you know, of course, I'm just an E5. I was like, well, you know, I was told I was supposed to go to CE. I'm the assistant NCOIC of CE. And, you know, I was really hoping I go there. They said, well, no, they said, we wanted to pull you out and put you in this job. And I said, okay, you know, like I said, I was just an E5, but, you know, I went along for the get along. There's nothing I could do. I was just, you know, following orders. Well, I worked, the supervisor, that was the supervisor in procedures and analysis. I worked with her. And, you know, you know, that's when the problem started, and not to disrespect anybody, but, you know, she was kind of somebody, I just didn't trust her. You know, she would talk about other people, gossip about other troops, and she said some things about me behind my back, and jumped on the bandwagon of labeling me as having an attitude problem or whatever, and didn't even know me. And she had a troop, another NCO, that would follow me and, you know, tell her, you know, report back, well, who is she talking to, you know, that sort of thing. And when I found out about that, I was like, you know, I don't appreciate that, you know. I let her know how I felt about her. I said, you know, first of all, you know, she made a comment about, well, you know, you're standoffish and you're aloof and this and that. And she said, and that's not how Christians are supposed to act. And I told her, I said, well, Christians aren't supposed to talk about other people either. I said, but you do that. You send people, treat me like I'm an airman basic. I said, I'm an NCO, just like the person that you have surveillancing me. And I said, I don't appreciate that. So I said, and I requested, I said, I want to go to another section. And I was accused of not wanting responsibility, which wasn't true because I've supervised up until that point 8 troops.
Yes.
So I have some experience in supervision.
Yeah.
But, I told her, I said, look, I can't deal with this. I said, you talking smack and saying things about me. I said, I was supposed to go to CE anyway. And I asked to go back to CE. They said, no. I said, well, okay, well, can I go to receiving then, if you're gonna keep me in the squadron? Well, basically I jumped from the fire to the skillet, as they say. So I go to receiving, and the supervisor there at the time was, in my opinion, a Karen. And the only thing that she seemed to really be concerned with was making sure that she had a pastos on the weekend, an Air Force base, a military base in South Korea. That's like where everybody goes to. I was stationed in Kunsan. That's the only thing that she really seemed to be concerned about. She was very nasty towards me, very condescending, and she didn't treat anyone else like that. Well, basically, I had experience working in receiving, but I got blamed. A lot of people were making the civilians, the language barrier was sometimes a problem with the Korean civilians stuff was being put in the wrong place that I ordered, and they were trying to pin it on me.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of things. And I'm like, my only responsibility is receiving. I receive and process everything in, and, it either goes to the warehouse or it either gets sent on the flight line or whatever. What happens after it leaves this is not my problem, but they still insisted on putting blaming me for it.
Yeah.
And it caused me a lot of stress.
Yeah.
I was just stressed beyond belief. So, I'm dealing with that. And plus, trying to maintain my fitness level, doing PT, the other stuff. And I had just started my master's program. So you can imagine, I was just, that's God though, but I made it through though. I really learned that was a prime example of God having his hands on me.
Yes.
And plus, some other things that happened. I was assaulted, but I didn't really bother I was like, well, I'm not going to report it because what's the point in reporting something when they already don't like me anyway?
And you didn't know, I'm sorry, you didn't know at the time that you were even targeted. You just thought you were needed.
Right. And
see, that's how it works.
And that's when, Kathy, when I told her all of this, and she said, okay, she said, keep going on. I said, okay, well, eventually it just came to a head. They were doing more stuff, like when it came time for me to go on my mid-tour to go back home to the States, they were trying to deny that. And I got tired of it. I went to the IG. It was during the time, right before an ORI inspection, which stands for Operations Readiness Inspection. That was during the worst possible time. And they didn't like that. Right. I was reporting, I went, reported the old and the new, how I was being blamed for stuff on the job. Plus, how they're trying to deny me to go home. And I said, it's just too much. And, I was basically looked upon as a troublemaker.
Yeah.
And she said, okay, she said, Kathy, this is Kathy Meadows talking. She said, what you did is considered like whistleblowing. And it's a form of whistleblowing. You stood up for yourself, and she said, and that's how a lot of people end up getting targeted. But I said, I learned through directed conversation. They were saying all kinds of things and having false witnesses saying that, I'm into. Now, mind you, I stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning looking at child porn, just all kinds of stuff. That's what I've learned later through directed conversation that they were saying about me. I said, are you serious? And they cover it with lie upon a lie upon a lie. And other things that were said through directed conversations was, oh, well, they didn't want to do anything to her because they didn't want her to commit suicide. And I'm like, okay, and that's what and she said, okay, she said, yeah, this is Kathy Meadows speaking. She said, yes, she said, that's the common slander that's used, that you're either a pedophile drug dealer, terrorist, that sort of things, because she even informed me, she said, when I took upon the responsibility of helping targeted individuals, she said that's what they were saying about her. And Kathy Meadows, she said that's what they said about me when I assumed the responsibility and, came up with her program of helping targeted individuals. So I'm like, this is when I learned the tactics that they use and how it's going on, how everything goes down. And she said, and you being a veteran, she said, and you're a single female that lives by yourself, you're particularly vulnerable because that's the majority of what's compromised in this program, veterans and single women who live by themselves. So, and unfortunately, the other veterans, active duty, as well as former veterans, they're also participating in gang stalking.
Yeah.
I've seen several, practically every person that I worked with, served with when I was, and I'm talking about a couple of people who I thought were, who I laughed and who I called, sisters or whatever. I'm like, they're in on it too. I've seen them around surveillance and they trying to act like, it was just a random encounter. I'm like, I already know, I already know that this is what you're trying to do. So, but this is a very real program. This is a very real and diabolical program.
Yes.
And they tell you that, the reason why they're doing it, is for, this person, they slander the person and say, well, they deserve this. This is, you're doing a service to your community, but you're not the people who are told to do this. You're not, as I mentioned in my earlier interview, you're not doing a service to your community by slandering innocent people and doing this and destroying friendships, destroying relationships and having people, people that have known you for decades look at you in a completely different light and negative, all because you want to lie, because people are lying or whatever. And, this is diabolical and this is real and it needs to stop. The information needs to be put out there about this program and that this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to do this.
No, let me see what question.
And these people are paid by the FBI
Hi, everyone.
and the CIA by giving them some type of stipend to do this because they're not just doing it because they want to, they're coerced in doing this and taking down our characters, our character, and it's really sad. But what's really great about this is once you realize that, you can say to yourself, I might lose people. I lost people after 35 years of good friendship. But now, once this will end one day, I can decide who I'm going to take back and who I'm not. So, there's a good part to it. But now when I see people, it's like, deuces, see ya.
And it hurts. It hurts,
Yes.
I kind of, after I can kind of tell, it's just one of those things that you can just feel, when people treat you indifferent. It's mainly online because I don't know a lot of people where I live at in Richmond. But, people that I socialize with on, keep in touch with my friends that I've known for years on social media, when they don't really hit you back up or, ask how you doing or whatever, you kind of figure, okay, well, they must have got that. They obviously got to them too, because they do monitor targeted individuals' social media.
Everything.
They monitor everything and they send messages and, the slander. And I'm like, it's just unbelievable, the extreme and how far they'll go to isolate the targeted individual.
Right. And by the way, family and friends will say, well, why don't you change your phone? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you move? Listen, this is a very well organized program. Trust me when I tell you, and any targeted individual will tell you, it is well organized. They know everything about you. They study, they even pick up your garbage to know what you're getting, how you're getting it. everything about you.
And leave it, then, when they go through it, they leave it all out.
That's
Trash in the
correct.
front.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
that's why I just have that, the
Mhm.
trash laid out in front of the yard,
Yeah.
just nasty on purpose,
Yes.
purpose hate.
Mhm.
This is the most, I mean, I've just never experienced so much hate. And, you know, I mean, I'm a Black woman, and so people say prejudice, you know, I've never had experienced any hate that compares to this program. It's very hateful. For someone to poison your food, purposely poison your food and take a chance that that person dies.
Yeah.
You know, are you not thinking that that person dies and you're going to jail? The devil is not gonna, there is no honor among thieves. No one's gonna protect you when it's time, when those dominoes all start falling. No one's got your back but the devil, and it's gonna have a knife in it. Welcome here. We are in San Antonio, Texas. I'm here with Miss Tanisha Cole and Roger Nelson. They are targeted individuals. I'm Sandra Williams here, host of the I Shall Bloom show, targeted individual. And not afraid to talk. Not afraid to talk, so I'm gonna come and I'll ask if there's questions here. But I was told that, Roger, you're good with shielding. You have different techniques of shielding because, and I know my nails have fallen off, they're black. And so, of course, the brain cells, the memories, the sweats, the smells, all the stuff that goes along with that, there's some shielding because of, what do you see?
Listen, I can just tell you that.
I'm sorry. So shielding, or asking about shielding, what would you be shielding from? Because I forgot that part.
From DEW. DEW is direct energy weapons, and also from EMFs, which is electrical magnetic force. So these are things that I use. I use Vaseline has helped me. Vaseline to put on your body helps you. Also, you need to realize to take calcium and magnesium.
Okay.
Also, I would tell you that you need to shield your body with silicone. If you can go and get some type of silicone that can protect you from the dew. That could be silicone mitts, like cooking mitts. It does deflect it. Another thing that deflects dew is you can take a mirror and get the 200-degree spray paint that they use on barbecue grills, and paint the back side of it and turn that back side, because when they hit you with it, like say you're sitting in the chair and it'll reflect it back, so you won't feel it in your back. Or when say they're hitting you in your stomach, you have a small mirror, put it on your stomach and it'll reflect it back. I also tell you to buy the floaties that go on your arms. Get the adult size, put them around your legs if they're hitting your legs or your feet, and fill them with water. Go to targetedjustice.com. They have a whole section on water shielding and ideas to help you, which I learned a lot from them. I mean, Targeted Justice has a whole website about it. I would tell you to utilize that. Also, I would tell you to, I did this, I bought on Amazon, you can buy X-ray blankets and put them on your bed, and then you can cover yourself with one. Also, I use copper. Copper is a good deterrent by putting bracelets on you, Also, you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get Carper and put it, when you go to bed, you can take some parchment paper or wax paper and buy the sheets of Carper and put it near you where they're trying to hit you. That does deflect it away. Let's see, what else have I used? Certain things work better than others. Whatever works for you, you have to go on the calls. There's an event, it's called TI Events. Get on the calls, just like this call. You're learning from us, from me and this young lady. We're veterans. Right, so now we're thinking about getting a veteran call out there with veterans and civil servants to get a call going on that. It's called tievents.org, and there's tons of calls out there. Knowledge is power. Power to survive this. There's a lot of people that haven't survived it, and you have to be a victor, not a victim no more. You have to be a victim. I mean, no longer victim, a victor.
Victor.
That's right.
The victory.
The victory, amen. So there's tons of things you can do, and plus you can start inspiring people by helping other people. That's what I have about shielding this. But there's a lot of things on the calls that everybody will help everybody. And all you gotta do is ask on those calls, hey, what do you do about this? What do you do about that? And you will find some relief from somebody. Somebody will speak up and tell you. Like another thing I didn't realize is to detox your body. Great shielding. Ready? Epsom salt, 2 cups of Epsom salt, 1 cup of baking soda, and then olive oil. Hot water, the hottest water you can.
Yes.
Soak 20 minutes in that bathtub, and it detoxes that body. Yeah, and guess what? You feel wonderful, and it detoxes. Also, another thing is to apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of that. Even if you can't tolerate it, just 2 capfuls of that every day. That's a wonderful thing. Also, if you can eat a lot of raw things, your body, well, you see, I don't eat a lot of raw things. I'm a big dude, but I'm trying. But try to eat a lot of raw, healthy things, because a lot of processed foods, that's how they really attack you. Try to stay away from a lot of sugars. That's what they say. And that's, get on the calls, get on this call, get on everything. Ask questions.
Yes.
That's what I know.
Okay, so we'll be able to ask questions and
Well, hi, hello everyone again, and I gotta do my spiel. Hi, again. Yes. Hi, y'all.
Our assistant today.
Hi, thank you for me assisting. Wow,
And Tranquility.
love you most, and Tranquility, love you most. So again, my name is Sandra Williams. I'm the host of the I Shall Bloom Show, a show where we interview stellar individuals whose work and legacy has profoundly uplifted our communities for the better. Today is Targeted Individuals Day. It's another day for us that we were able to educate the public, the ones that are in denial, that don't want to know that this exists. We just had 2 military veterans on here who are being stalked. Dude, electrical weapons. This is not a sci-fi. This is real. They are supposed to protect us, and they are being harmed just like we are. So today we are having the jam here. Gogi, the jam. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Gogi.
Hi, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to the jam.
Welcome to the jam. So this is her show. I'm just sitting. I'm going to relax and enjoy this side, because I never had a chance to be on this side when this show happens. And I'm seeing it. It's beautiful. Go ahead.
Thank you. Well, did you enjoy that? I enjoyed the I Shall Bloom show with Sandy Williams, the host, and her guests, Roger and Tanisha. Really, really interesting show. I mean, I'm sure we all as TIs have been there. We've experienced already what they were talking about and in this dreadful, dreadful program. And I enjoyed what they were saying, just recapping when they did not know what was going on and how they found out what was happening to them. And it's just a real stressful time. It's a good time, and yet in all that's going on, even though it's such a negative situation, it is a good time to be a TI. And I say that because people have been TIs for decades, but there was like nothing for them to hold on to. They had no ropes, no savior, nothing to come and help them. And I think, they spent a lot of time commiserating, because at that point, they really just wanted to know that they weren't crazy, that something was going on.
Q&A session has started.
That something was going on in their lives, that there were other people out there who were experiencing the same thing. And so for decades, they just talked about, wow, this is happening. This really is happening. How can we get help? Oh, there's no help. Oh, we're invisible. Oh, they're refusing to help us. So it was just that realization, step by step, of what was going on and what was happening. So they spent all that time with that, but now we're at another point. We're at a point, and I call it action. I always say, press past your pain to prepare, produce, and progress. So we have to press past where we are, because we're still being assaulted. I certainly am.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't stop because they say, oh, well, they have a lawsuit now, let's stop.
Yeah, this is worse. It's
Yeah, they ramp it up.
They get turned up.
Yeah, they don't stop because we're like, well, I'm gonna be a good little girl, and I'm not gonna write any letters, I'm not gonna tell anybody anything, and I'm just gonna be still, and maybe they'll leap over me. Maybe they'll excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Until then, I used to using the mic. But, we think that they're gonna just pass over us, pass us by, like the Passover. No, they're not. Because you don't lick a stamp or write an envelope or go say something to someone, they're not gonna just pass over you. They have no mercy. It's a ruthless, no-touch torture program. So it's you can't do enough to make them just have mercy on you or just leave you alone. That's a myth. So the more you push back, the better it'll be. And maybe for a while it may get a little rigorous, but push back, shield, preserve your body, protect yourself, pray as you pray, but do something. So there's a lot of things to be done, and there's a lot of things that are out there that's being done as our story is being told. And I think that's the most wonderful thing, is that our story is being told by so many.
Yes.
And it's not where we want it to be yet, because we're hearing drips and drabs, but we're getting there.
Yes.
We're getting there.
So how much of the elephant do you think we've eaten?
Oh, we get
I like that. You said that last time.
We have taken down one leg of the elephant.
Yeah.
We took down one leg, one of the 4 legs.
Yes.
So the Fickrey versus FBI case,
Yes.
where Fickrey won the ability to move their case on, the Supreme Court voted unanimously that they can move their case on when the FBI was trying to call it moot, a moot case, and dismiss it, as they have tried to dismiss the targeted justice case a few times. So, but they prevail. Fickrey is prevailing. Targeted justice is prevailing. Because you can't just let them dismiss your case and then just go sit in the corner and say, okay, well, we're dismissed.
No.
You have to push back. We have to push back individually, you have to push back corporately. So if there's anything that you can do to push back, push back. And sometimes when you push back, you'll see things dissipate.
Yeah.
Especially if they have nothing, you push back and say, you know what? I want to speak to a supervisor. You speak to the supervisor. Sometimes they don't even bring the supervisor to the phone.
No, they'll fix it
They
then.
don't bring, yeah, they just say,
Oh,
well, you
well,
know.
let me check.
Yeah, right.
You could have checked in the beginning,
Right.
but
Mhm.
now,
Now that you push back, then they
Oh, I
move,
like that.
things move. So
Yeah.
just don't be afraid to push back. Don't be afraid to lick a stamp. Don't be afraid to address an envelope or join some of the activities that we get involved with because they're important.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so I have one video I wanted to share. I won't share any articles because today we're gonna take a sneak peek at celebrities who may be somehow involved with the targeting programs. I don't like being this far away from you. I don't want to show my legs because I have pants under my dress. I never wear pants under my dress. I'm shielding, okay? So.
I should shield.
No, well, it's okay. I get it. I have a lot of,
You want me to pull you close? You want to come
I'm
closer?
gonna move closer after, the video. So first we're gonna show a video here. I would like you to hear a video. This video is about FISA. Now, I want to set it up because FISA, remember, is due to expire April 19th. And it looked like everything was in our favor
And what's
at one
FISA?
time. FISA is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or
There we go.
FISA,
Yeah.
FISA Section 702, which now, if you've been on the jam, you should be able to tell me this. I shouldn't be telling you because I sure hope I ain't talking for nothing. Okay, but FISA Section 702 is what gives the FBI permission to go into a T-Mobile, a Sprint, an AT&T, or some kind of store, flash a badge and say this person is on the domestic terrorist list. They're under investigation. We need their records. We need their phone records, their texts. We need to know the IP address or the IMEI, whatever. I mean, you know, they need all this stuff. So here you sitting with your device, putting your VPN on, pushing no to Google, doing all these things, and then they still get through. You know, either they ping your device somehow, they can drive up close to you with the car. Sometimes you see a car easing up right next to you, standing, riding right along with you.
Yeah, always riding.
Pinging your device. Especially because most people still, I say still because I used to, but I don't anymore. But some people still carry their phones open in the car, available, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, you know, like we just can't get the fact that we're targeted and then we have to function differently.
Okay, yeah, that's me. I have to realize.
Yeah, but
You gotta
why?
shut it down, girl.
We have to change somewhat. You know, I mean, we have a new existence. Some people say, I refuse, so I'm not gonna do it. I've heard that. And I don't know if I admire them or not in the way I do, because of course I wish I could live free like that. But there's a vulnerability attached to it. It's a vulnerability. So if you do it, count your costs, that's all. If you decide I'm not gonna make any changes, it's count your costs. You decide that you're gonna go on and continue eating fast foods or eating out, know that you're taking a risk because they will tamper with our food.
Yeah.
They love to tamper with our food.
Yeah.
For what? I mean, because they put not only poison, although they say most TIs, believe it or not, have some cyanide in their bodies. Cyanide?
Yeah.
That's stuff I've heard on TV.
For the rats.
Yeah,
Rat poisoning.
we have cyanide in our bodies. And so, and now these are blood tests that we can take and find out. So it's, but the food poisoning is usually for the nanites, to put nanites in you so that you can be, whether it's in your environment, in your food, but they want to get nanites help to increase your body to attach and accept the dew, which is like such a big thing, you know, so that they can destroy and damage your body with its direct energy weapons. I mean, you spend your life, I mean, maybe you did, trying to be healthy, trying to be physical. You know, I really believe that the world is in such a great place. We're living longer, healthier, thinking about better things, treating each other better without this program.
Yes.
It's the impact of this program that's affecting the divorce rates, the for the celebrities. Celebrities they can't stay together for what?
8 years?
8 years? Well, not even 8 years, 3, maybe 1.
Maybe 1.
but it's the opposition and the distractions and the disruption. I don't know who, I believe, we know who we say, messes with them, but who tries to get them to sign contracts and sacrifice people and so forth. We're gonna look a little bit just at the celebrities in a bit. But, okay, so we're gonna, I digress. We're gonna go to this, video. It is the FISA, a video clip about FISA. So let's listen into that and see what's going on.
Pull this thing up a little. Are we?
Indiana's 5th Congressional District, 2024.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think we'll have a lot of going.
Sounds like the person who, my assistant, it sounds like Jane got cut off. I'm so sorry. Give us 1 minute. Those wonderful technical difficulties.
Yeah, oh well, and it's heightened. Look, my slip.
So remember, there is a little debate about FISA in terms of, we expected it to go in our favor, where they would just not reauthorize it. No signal. But that they would not reauthorize it. However, the speaker, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, decides that it's trying to get everyone to go ahead and pass a particular bill. And I'm not sure if that bill, I really need to read that a little more carefully, but I'm not sure if that bill is insisting that the FBI have warrants to look at to violate the privacy of citizens. And that's what we need. They have to have a warrant in order to get your records. And they have no reason to have a warrant, so they wouldn't be able to get your records. And that's the key. All right, so we're gonna try the video again.
The video is up now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they dropped me.
Okay, yeah, they are. I heard it. Thank you, Jane.
Okay,
Okay,
that.
okay.
7 minutes to the Joe Lake from Indiana.
Perfect.
Congressional District,
Is that better?
2024.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think we'll have a lot of discussion, this conference. But there is one important discussion that we're really, I think,
Or even it looks in the chair.
take very seriously. It's section 702 of the Reorganization of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. And I want to remind ourselves that the main job of us, representatives of the people, is to protect people's rights to life, liberty, and property. We will never have equal opportunities. We will always don't want to have equal outcomes. There's a right. And this is the job of Congress to legislate. And we know very well that rights of American constitutional rights of Americans are being violated. And I'm going to cite some excerpts from that report that Privacy and Civil Liberties of the High Court just issued recently. That is what was created to oversee due processes, and they issued in line with our authorization, and it was granted by Democrats and appointed the chairs appointed by President. So this is from the report. The report finds that Section 7 was significant private and civil liberty risks, most notably from U.S. personal queries and magistrates. Significant private and civil liberty risks also scope of permissible targeting. It also talks about new types of procedures that been recently authorized for critics too, and we have a lot of challenges about collections and Congress would have kind of stumbled through the stop to it, but instead the new procedures that were just authorized were used in widespread fashion. It could be extraordinary, intrusive. It also talks about, that the part of the risk of collection of communication is very real and can cause harm. And no individualized judicial review for any decision. We had over 300% increase in surveillance since 2015, doubled in the last 5 years. And this surge is very concerning, and there is no specific review of that. And then also it talks about that this would be a lot of information in Americans, but they cannot understand how much. So I believe there needs to be some sample by twice a quarter that they do certification to start viewing and figuring it out. Because ultimately, there is a potential that, our agents have access to be able to collect without work and to raise many Americans. And we don't know how many Americans are there to raise and whatever they do it by when they cover the procedure. There is no economic right to know what you're on the all side, review of that. What places, that concern, but also concern with documentation. I think Congress should have courts to do it in other areas and the Congress to do it too, where there should be evidence, the documentation, we can have preventative control in systems that is very strong with evidence of review, their approval and justification, by FBI, why they use this loophole in the law that potentially violates rights of the citizens as many Americans. I think this is exactly what this trouble is. And the magnitude of violations is very serious. And I think Congress needs to be much more serious in this consideration before we are authorizing protection. Another thing that was talked about, there is for national security protection, but actually, the agency didn't prove that the aspects that they do it actually give justification to what they're doing to provide the more protection of that. I think we need to move more on trail. And I hope we have more discussion with the future and the still are moving forward in the way how they are, because I want to remind us, we're not willing to talk with them. The rights of Americans here, I don't know why we're even in Congress here, and the Civil Amendment right, it's a right, it's a partisan issue, and I hope we will take one serious move how it's going to improve this fight for the authorization before we reauthorize and have a better place. Thank you very much, and I do that.
Okay, thank you. I heard, do you know who she is? I heard most of what she said. She was very passionate about what she said. And there were a few buzzwords I wanted to tap into. One, she did use the word targeted, and I love when people do that because I believe that they are aware of the targeted program. And bipartisan, which it is definitely a bipartisan issue. Democrats, Republicans, every political party, people are being targeted in each of the parties and have been targeted. So it's not respective to a particular party. It's a bipartisan issue. And she mentioned a loophole. So the FBI uses this loophole to look at our records. And she also stated that there's no description of the kinds of data that they get from us, from the when they go in and flash their badges and so forth to get our records. It's no record of the kind of data that they get. So they get very personal data. I mean, you write your boo, you write your husband, you send a letter here, a text there, make a phone call, whatever, and they hear it. I also think about, and I've said this in terms of when we do finally get our compensation and our day in court, that we should be able to change our social security numbers if we choose. Because they've heard our social security numbers.
Yes, they have.
They hear our phone calls, they hear our credit card information. If we give it over the phone, if we do it online, they see our passwords, they can lock you out of a darn account.
Yeah.
Okay, you put the correct password in. Some people still, like I say, those who just don't want to make changes, have they show their password when they write it in. My password is, my blooming medley, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they put it up there, my blooming medley. Okay, now they have it.
And
So they go back in, they can go back in. I don't think they do that often because it could show which device it's coming from. They have to be very careful. One thing, and I know Roger said this earlier today, it's a very organized program. It's extremely organized, it's very strategic. They don't step out of line because if they did, maybe they would get caught. So they know enough to keep doing the same thing, break in a certain way so that you don't catch them. How do they break in? I know, I think Lauren is on the line. I know she does something which I just love. She puts powder all over her floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
She puts powder all over her floor, and she makes footsteps to the door, so she knows her footsteps.
Yeah.
So when she comes back, there are different footsteps there, you know? And if you document that, then you can document the number of times they broke in your house, and at the end of the day, if the judge says, well, you know what, every time they broke in, we're gonna do this, that, and the other, $15, those 1,500 times 15 adds up. So, I mean, they should not be violating our privacy, and our day-to-day activities should not be changed to this degree where we have to go out and put powder down and sweep it up and do this and take pictures and put the lock on and take the lock and sign it. And we want to mail something, we gotta do it a certain way, we gotta tape it, and we gotta mail it, what?
So much to just do one little thing that you can do when you
Yes.
used to can just sleep and do it.
Yeah.
But now it's so, I mean, my steps, okay, I know I need to do this. I need to get up early because you know it's gonna take me 3 hours, because it's gonna go down.
Mhm.
You know, the system's gonna go down first. And I'm gonna be locked out. Then I'm gonna go back in. Then I'm gonna reset.
Yeah, it makes life so
Oh,
arduous,
gosh.
so difficult, and it just, my mother used to say, always something to take the joy out of living. She didn't know.
That is
Yeah.
really that's their motto,
Mhm.
our mantra, is to take the joy out of someone's life.
Yes, and she didn't know that she was dealing with the program, but we know it now. And so, and one of the lawsuits, the current lawsuit, the second lawsuit that targeted justice filed in Toledo was about the ones who have been taken. It's a FOIA lawsuit, and we have a hearing in June.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish we could rally for that, but we can't. That's not a rally. That's a 15-minute thing.
Yes.
But it's about those who died and were therefore removed from the watch list. What about those? Can you?
But I thought we
share
had
that?
a list, huh?
Oh,
What
yeah,
about
right.
that?
Yeah. No, I did hear one of the directors, I think the top director, did get on and say, we do have a list because we have to know the terrorists.
Yeah.
We have to know
Now,
who the terrorists are in our country. So he said, I don't know how else we could do it without a list. So there is a list. So, but they don't want to share the list. Oh, we can't share the list. Why would we share the list? Because then we'll tell who the terrorists are in our country.
right. Oh.
And so with FISA,
One.
right?
Oh, man.
So with FISA Section 702, they push back, and that's the hard part. They push back saying, oh, national security. We have to make sure that we secure everything. How can you not let us get the records of terrorists? Because you may delay something that that may cause a big explosion somewhere. You may delay our whole process for finding terrorists. But guess what? The terrorists on this database in the TSDB have never been tried, arrested, accused, convicted of a terrorist crime.
Yeah.
So it would make zero difference if you destroyed this list. Zero for national security. I hope that was the top somebody, CIA person that just dropped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Zero difference if we just tore this list up and destroyed it and started paying everybody back. It wouldn't affect our national security whatsoever. Okay, so anyway, that was the FISA video that's going on right now. This is the discussion that they're having about ending Section 702. I've asked and I plead, please, the template letter is on tievents.org. Please use it to write your particular elected officials, the ones that you are constituent of, because they respect you, hopefully, and they will hopefully listen to you. Write them and let them know that you do not want it authorized. We have a flyer, we have a petition that over 2,000 people signed, and they need to be reminded. We sent it already to Congress, but please, if you could do anything, please do it now, because we really want this to expire, to go away. Okay, what do you think about the video?
I thought, yes, I
I think I heard it before.
Okay,
Yeah, I heard it before, so, I really didn't hear this time clearly, but I heard the key points of being, targeting and also filtering this and actually trying to stop it or have it monitored. So, yeah, I actually think it's a great thing. It's another milestone for us.
yes, actually, it'll be another leg.
Another leg, yeah.
It'll be another leg. I've come up with other things that are, done to help to stop some of their activities. So our cease and desist letter, Target Justice suggested that we send cease and desist letters to Citizen Corp
And I have
and
one.
InfoWar.
I have one that's right up there.
Oh, you have one, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You put it outside, wow, go ahead.
I have it.
So, yeah, to, the cease and desist letters, to send those to the places that do your gang stalking. Many have said that their gang stalking slowed down, their gang stalking stopped, their gang stalking paused, so, once again, it's worth a try, okay? All right, I think that was the video, and then we're gonna spend a little time with celebrities today. I wanna open up, I don't know who's on the line.
What do we need to do so we can you need to get closer to the phone?
No.
No.
I think Tranquility, Faithful Tranquility has if you want to, I can either open the line and anyone that's on free conference call can say, hey, and so let me do that for 1 or 2 minutes. I'll take 1 or 2 people, or 3 to 4 people. If you just want to say the city and state you're from, any comment, let me see, if you have a question, but I'm gonna do whatever's on your mind right now. If you've heard the pre-show or anything about FISA, then you can do that, and then we're gonna get into celebrities today. Just gonna take a sneak peek at them. All right, so go ahead, Tranquility.
Q&A session is over.
Welcome to the jam, everybody. I love to hear from you. So if you're there and you'd like to say your city and state where you're from, please do so. And one quick comment about what's on your mind, and we're gonna move to the next person. Go ahead. Okay, I'm so not used to video.
You're on both. Uh-huh.
Nobody?
And then I'll ask whatever questions we have.
Okay, so we're gonna answer the questions.
Hi, I'm Jessica from Minnesota. I'm seeking justice and freedom.
Thank you, Jessica from Minnesota. Good to hear you. Thanks for joining the jam, Jess.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? We can hear you. Okay. All right, we're gonna move right along. I'm gonna go to, wanna take some of the calls, comments?
Sure, yeah, I'm gonna reach up, let me look up here and see what, we have some comments here, you guys, so let's see. I should have looked at the bigger screen. I'm gonna say, let's see. Saying hi, Lauren.
Hi,
Can't
Lauren.
understand, okay, the video, couldn't really understand the video.
Oh, she couldn't either. I couldn't understand the video, but I thought it was just me.
Yeah, we have a person, hi, Ann, she's saying they steal our mail, yes, they do.
We have something coming up. Let me just say with that, I'm aware of conversations about doing some kind of action. I'll put it that way with the mail. So
Yeah.
document. If they are going through your mail, I know I received a statement that was open and it was like obviously open. I took
Yeah.
pictures of it,
Uh-huh.
date, the time, and so forth, and keep the documentation. And there'll be something to do with that soon.
Okay, so we have.
There's actually, let me just say, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let that person speak. There's actually someone who is prevailing in court about what they did with her mail, a TI, okay? It didn't mention that she's a TI, but,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh.
So, all right, somebody was trying to say hello?
Yeah, so one second.
Go ahead, and then
Oh,
we'll,
hi,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, told the post office that my mail was getting tampered with, and then also know your mail delivery guy because that is important. I don't know why I'm echoing right now, but I'm echoing.
Yeah.
So, that's another important thing, just to kind of secure it. Know who's delivering your mail, is what I was gonna say.
Beautiful, thank you, that's important, and let me tell you another reason why that's important, because I had a UPS guy, very friendly, he was like the guy, the neighborhood UPS guy that everybody would love. And he didn't really start, treating me differently, but I could notice something different. If you do notice something different with your mail person or anybody, that is defamation. And Anna Taleta came on the show and told us about that. Document, because you can subpoena these people and ask them, what happened, and even if it's an HR person at a job, make them get up there and swear on the oath.
Yes.
About the information, they would either have to commit perjury or admit that they were tampered with, that someone tried to persuade them to treat you differently because of whatever reason. So keep your documentation, and thank you, the person who brought up that about the mail, thank you for that.
Oh, also too, the tax return, she said that she always has to have to hunt down her tax returns, they don't come back or something, and I've had that happen. I also had, mail not picked up, it could just sit there, saying, my mail.
Was sit at the post office?
It won't sit we have it right outside, she won't pick my mail up.
She won't take it.
Yeah, she won't take it, but she takes hers. Because,
That's awful.
So, yeah.
And tax returns, you know what, that's because
Tax
it's the
returns.
government. No, it's your neighbor, no, it's the government, because they're in charge, that's who can impact whether you get your tax returns or not.
Oh, and it says, you already answered the question about the 702.
What did they ask about?
No, they're saying give us clarity, but that was further up, so.
Okay, thank you so much for asking about that, and please join in with that. Please reach out to people, because, like I said, we just have a narrow, a small, number in our favor that will go against it, and we really need to make sure that they do not authorize it. Imagine that now you can securely talk and text. Do you know what disadvantage that would put this program at? This would cripple the program. Like I said, it'll be another leg down to the elephant. The elephant will be on its knees.
Yes. Ooh, his face.
Oh my goodness.
Are gone.
We want him on his face.
Yes.
The elephant will be on their knees without that 702.
Yes.
Okay, because they won't know. Now we can talk. Now we can talk to each other by phone. And we can text and we can email. And we will, that's important. All right. So what
Okay. Coming up to, hi Clarence, hi Sandra, hi, thank you guys, you said they're doing a great job. Lauren Gordon, she said, I live in Winston-Salem. Every time I look up something on my cell phone, it is registered from Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte, North Carolina is where the Fusion Center is located. Go figure.
Wow. Yeah, keep records, keep recording, keep screenshots,
And hello, it's Ken. Hi, Ken. Hi, Adam and Eve. Love hearing the elephant down on the knees. Yeah, that's Sandra. Yep, we do too. We want him out of the room.
Yeah.
But I know it's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's kind of
okay.
So we're back.
Thank you. Anybody else for free conference call? Else we're gonna move on to our celebrity discussion.
I just want to say hi, ladies.
Hi, Tanya. Tanya from Arizona. Hey, you're supposed to be right here. You're supposed to be right here. Where you at? Where's Tanya?
I was watching you guys on YouTube at first.
Yes.
And then you said conference call, I went on TI events.
Okay, yeah, you have more access, you can talk, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So look, I want to say something to all ladies.
Thank you.
Yay.
You're looking good.
Thank you,
You're doing a
guys.
good job.
Thank you for being here, thank you for support, thank you for supporting.
Yes.
Keep spreading the word.
Hmm?
Yes, keep spreading the word.
Yes.
Yeah, amen. Thank you for supporting the jam and the.
I shall bloom
I
shine.
love it.
Regardless, we gonna bloom, because we're sticking together, we are getting this stuff out here, so we're gonna make it, you guys. I know some days, even Sunday, I was like, God, this is, I'm tired of this. But then, here we go.
Yeah, I heard Tanisha say earlier that sometimes she gets mad at God. And you said I do too.
Not mad, just don't understand why I feel like he's leaving us out here. You know, when I just see, now that I see so many of my stalkers eye to eye now. At first they would, always be somewhere to the right or be left, but now they're coming closer to me.
Yeah.
And in my neighborhood, they drive by and they throw stuff out the, I mean, kind of,
So it's getting closer and
yes.
yeah. Those who totally lean on God and believe and understand and have a relationship with Him, it's something to say, what's going on, what's happening,
Yeah.
why? A lot of people want to say, why me, all that, and I question, and then I question for a second, like, come on, like, well, not even question, like, why not now? Come on, why is it
cry
still
out.
going on?
Cry out.
I guess.
And He wants us to cry out.
Yeah, He does.
Cry out to Him. I mean, because I'm definitely not going another way.
Yeah.
Like, even though I say things to God, I'm like, oh, I just don't see why you're just leaving us out here like this.
Yeah.
But then there's no other choice.
Right.
I'm not going any other way.
Yeah, I don't stay there long because I know that we can't lean to our own understanding. For me, it should have been yesterday or it could have been yesterday or whatever, but I know God has the perfect plan and is in His perfection and His plan. Our patience is required and it's going to be better than we could ever imagine. So it's better for us just to wait it out and just deal with what we're dealing with. Okay. But all right, today I wanted to talk a little bit about celebrities, and and what made me think about that, of course, is all this attention brought on none other than Mr. P. Diddy. But I'm gonna talk about him last. This one I want to talk about first is Cardi B, and we have a little clip about it, and it just I believe that celebrities are targeted. This whole program is so detrimental to everyone from a toddler, as we see, to the president of the United States. Because I've seen some clips about Biden, and it seemed as if he was being blanked, like he didn't know what to say next.
Yeah.
And I've had moments like that.
I've had moments, where I took even on the show, of course,
Mhm.
and everything's gone.
Right. You can't even figure out what word you were trying to say.
Yeah.
It's one thing, sometimes you can't, it's like, how you can, it's on the tip of my tongue, I can't remember it.
Yes.
Hi, cutie. I don't know whose dog that is. It's on the tip of your tongue, can't remember it, and you can get it back. Nowadays, you can't get it back.
It's just gone.
Right, but sometimes when you're being blank, you can't even remember what you're trying to do. So I've seen him have those moments on camera.
A lot.
And people don't help him.
Well, they're thinking he's too old.
Right,
So they're getting ready to get rid of him, but we know now that that's a part of this targeting program. The weapon.
Right. And so it could be anyone from a toddler to the president of the United States. It can be a celebrity, it could be an athlete, an everyday mom and dad, a teacher, a nurse, a firefighter, a police officer who won't go along with what they want, during that blue code of silence or whatever.
Yeah.
So it could be anyone. You did the wrong thing, of course, the wrong person, or you did the right thing, and you're on this list. And the nomination doesn't need any explanation. they get money for it, so they love to put people in the program. So they continue to put people in the program. All right, so now let's listen to the clip with Cardi, and she's really talking about, well, you tell me what part of the program she's talking about. Do we have Cardi ready?
Yes, and just so you know, it's a short clip, and it has a few examples of her, what people are calling glitch and K-Ultra, so I'll play it now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jane.
But nobody asked me about my damn kid.
So is there gonna be a public register? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Take the gift card. Fuck everybody first. Take the gift card, take the gift card, take the gift card.
Take a gift.
Take your gift card. Okay, I missed that.
So Gogi, I know it's probably difficult for people to understand what just happened, but, she pretty much kind of glitched, and the way to get her back was to repeat something 3 times.
Okay,
So both examples, the first person had to clap 3 times, and the second person had to say it 3 times for her to snap out of it, so that's why people believe she's under mind control and her capable trauma.
okay, all right, so that was one of the clips. Now, I saw another clip with Cardi, and I'll explain it. She's saying to people, she clearly says, I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me wondering what I'm doing or thinking, but I'm talking to the voice in my head, and I hear somebody inside me saying, and she'll say what they're saying, and I'm talking to that person, and you're looking at me, and she clearly described B2K. And she was hearing somebody in her head talking to her, and now she said, and I'm wondering, who is this, and what, and she talked about it. And she just talks openly about it, about voices in her head.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that she's speaking so freely about it, but it also indicates that somebody could say, wow, you must be schizophrenic. They could start putting her on medication, but
Yeah.
she's talking freely about the voices that she hears in her head.
Mhm.
So I do believe that Cardi B could be a targeted individual. And we want to try to reach out to her because they don't know, when your life is full of entertainment and you got all entertainment people around you, security, you could be, and you're watching TV, but what you're watching is to keep up with yourself and your life and what you're doing and other celebrities or whatever. You might miss this. Of course you might miss it because some of our friends who we've even told about this program, they're missing it. So of course she could miss it. So we really need to let her know what she's going through, what she's facing, what she's hearing, that it's not that she's not crazy, that it is a program that's targeting her, and that there's something that she could do about it, or that there's a group of people that's working on it. She could fund our whole process and pull us all the way up. So we definitely need to, and we could certainly pull her all the way up, because if you remember from being isolated to now,
Yes.
being here is in a better place than being isolated amongst other targeted individuals is much more helpful. Okay, so that was
And
one.
Gogi, I do have that video if you still want to hear it. I have
Good.
that video.
Yes, that's the one. Yes, please. Thank you.
You are.
The one that you talked about. This is good.
A lot of people be saying, oh, I'm in Cardi B, and I don't know if she like me or not, because she was looking at me like if I'm crazy or about to try something. But that's not the problem. The problem is that I have a voice in my head that when I'm talking to people, it's just like having a conversation with me, and I can sign a text. And it used to be so good to me, and the voice in my head, I don't know this, I ask these questions like, hey, my sister agree with this, y'all said they were just dead. And then I was just like, back in my head, like, I don't know this, I think I did it, I'm rather now. And then here's the voice in my head, so I'm going back and forth. When I was talking to me, so I really got paid attention to the voice in my head. It's fucking talking. I'm not saying that this is because
Beautiful, thank you, that's the one, yes.
Wow.
She's talking about the voice in her head. So her B2K is, and she may not know, is distracting her. So somebody's talking to her, and while they're talking to her, they're talking about what happened to your Balenciaga boots you wore. She said, I don't know. You know, she's talking back. But the thing about it is, guess what? They probably tore up those boots,
Yeah,
scratched up one. They did something to one of
yeah,
them, those
one of them,
boots.
they love to take. Yeah.
One, right?
One, and then take the thing off mine.
Uh-huh.
My pumps.
Yes.
They take the little top off, so I'm walking on nails.
Yes. Been there, done that. When I was going to work, I mean, I had somebody helping me to organize my shoes and my clothes, everything, and all of a sudden, one of my pairs of shoes was missing, this and that. It was just ridiculous. So I could imagine what she's going through.
Yes,
And,
not knowing that you got a hater.
And I didn't know it.
It's
at
probably
that
your
time.
assistant.
Yeah, it could be, yes.
So you didn't know.
Yes, I didn't know, right? And it's somebody right there that's doing it. So, yeah, but she's openly sharing that she has a voice in her head that's talking to her while, you know, people don't like her, but you know, she's explaining, and it's just really, you know, we really gotta get a message to her. Not only, you know, how much she can do for the community, but what we can do for her. Just like how we did what we did for each other. All right, so let's hear, there was also Whoopi. Whoopi also stays on my mind. Whoopi had COVID 3 times. And she also was, I remember when she was blackballed.
Yeah.
Comedians have it rough, you know, they like to make fun of everybody, okay? So they make fun of the people in the front of them, they will make people in the back, and people in the audience, and they make people of the, whatever president is that year, whatever president while they're doing their thing. So Whoopi was making fun of Bush, okay? And I guess that was a big no-no, because I remember back then, she got blackballed.
Yeah.
So, she got blackballed, for making fun of Bush, of, President George Bush, I believe it was Senior. And, she was blackballed for a long time, and she was just like at a good point in her career, because I think she had just done Ghost, and I would have to check my dates to make sure that was factual, but she was doing movies, she was doing comedy, she's having a good old time.
American Dancer, right?
Oh.
Ted Dancer?
Ted Dancer,
Remember she was
really?
dating him.
Okay, so yeah, she was doing her thing, and she became blackballed because of the her little spiel on George Bush, and now everybody talks about the presidents.
Yeah.
They made so many jokes
jokes.
on Trump, on Obama, on I don't remember a lot on Obama, but I'm sure.
Clinton, of course, Clinton and all his stuff.
Really, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so they've had jokes on all the presidents, but God forbid, she talked about Bush and that she was blackballed. So I also heard that Sonny Hostin said, because they're all on The View together, if someone tells you that they're a targeted individual, believe them. Okay? She said, believe them. And I believe that Whoopi told her. That's just, and that's pure circumspect. I have nothing to accept it. If she said that, and I always suspected Whoopi, I believe that Whoopi and Sonny are somewhat close, and she knows and believes her. But let's hear a little bit about some of the things Whoopi went through. It's not as direct, but.
Right, the video is probably going to confuse people because there are different examples of what has happened in her career that ended things or ruined her life, etc. The article that pretty much talks about her being blackballed, we pretty much gave us a little recap of it. So, I don't think the video will really do justice right now.
Okay, all right, thank you. So let's move on, but that we'll share Whoopi. I plan on I'm gonna do some research, some digging, and really get into celebrities, guys. I mean, from Michael Jackson to Prince, this and that. And if you're really interested, we're gonna do a $5 fundraiser, and this is gonna be our special celebrity edition, and we're gonna use the funds for either the rally, or for TIs that need help. TIs that are struggling. And are out there, I believe that they should at least have a phone. Some need gas money, some need just a night at a hotel. So, you know, we want to do a little $5 fundraiser, and I think the thing would be to really center on these celebrities, and we'll bring them up, and we'll get all jazzy up and have some fun with it. But it's more than that. It's more that we need to get the word out to them, and we need to help them, and hopefully they will help us as well.
Yes.
But they need to know what they're going through. And, you know, there's an undercurrent that talks about the Illuminati. It talks about the sacrifices that celebrities have to make it to the top.
Yeah.
It's like, why can't their gift, you know how the Bible says your gift makes room for you?
Yeah.
Why can't their gift, their talent, take them to the top? Why is somebody controlling the top?
Right.
Why can't the fans speak for real? Why can't the loudest applaud be for the one that we want at the top?
Right.
Why is everything so a part of this power organized structure? Yeah.
Regions,
Mhm.
you know, different cities have legions of different, so, Hollywood, it depends on what Hollywood did to become Hollywood. So those curses, unless they're broken, I grew up in Hollywood. My dad was the first African-American Hollywood fireman there.
Okay.
Our house was burned down, he died in the fire.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I do remember, heaviness. As a kid, I didn't know what it was, but even skating, I always felt like something was trying to pull me to fall or pull me. It was always I grew up, it was beautiful, but when we moved, it was different. We moved to Beverly Hills. We moved from Hollywood Hills to Beverly Hills. And the air, and even as a kid, I knew the difference of the pull. So I can relate to Hollywood. I don't know what happened to form Hollywood Hills, the sacrifices. So when we moved there, it's beautiful and all, but there's sacrifice. There's something strong there.
A stronghold there.
The stronghold, yes.
Wow, interesting. Oh, we get a little spiritual background. Okay, all right. So, yes.
I actually have I did talk with, the person in interview, and he does speak about how he pretty much lost everything. Do you want me to say that?
Yes, that's what we?
Yes.
Good, yes, thank you.
And you know what about the other, Monique?
Oh, Monique.
Monique.
Living, about any kind of, you know, things that I had going on that, you know, would bring money and so I didn't work for five. And Barbara Walter, Dr. Glenda, said, I need another person. Would you ever consider, and I was like, yeah, because I've gone through all my days. You know, taking care of your family, everything is sitting on you. And so I went to West Texas, and she gave me a job, which has lasted 10 years. You know, she's grateful for. When you find yourself.
Yes, that's the question.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's hold that one. She lost everything.
And that's,
I would love to know what year. I know it's after the blackballing. And God bless Barbara Walters. She gave her a chance. I didn't know that. She gave her a chance, a job that lasted 10 years. That's absolutely beautiful because I know nobody else would touch her. She was like what's that plague in the? She was a leper or something. Nobody would touch her. She couldn't be anywhere.
right.
Like
Kind of like a target,
yes, right.
you know, if you're the only one.
Griffin.
Huh?
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin. Yeah. So we're gonna go over all of this during the our little fundraiser. So so thank you so much for that. Barbara Walters helped Whoopi. That's beautiful. All right. We want to do one more before doing Diddy. Do we have anything on Sandra Bullock? If not, we'll go straight to P.
No,
Diddy.
it's a big thing though, yeah. I mean, there are articles that state he's blackballed and people believe he's targeted, but there's no video that I found that's a good example of it.
Okay, all right, good, thank you. I'll do more research on that one. That's my girl from Miss Congeniality. So, all right, so, Diddy, guys, not that he's being targeted, but if we really listen, there could be some, I don't know if his role, one of the things, let me backtrack to two incidents. Fickrey's case versus the FBI is that they asked him to be an informant, and he refused to be an informant for the Muslims. Like, they wanted him to go infiltrate the mosques and find and get other extremists, Muslims to give to the FBI for whatever reason. And he refused, and that's why they began targeting him. They actually put him on the no-fly list, the handling codes 1 and 2. They put him on the no-fly list. So he was, really, that's, like the top. So he couldn't even fly anywhere. So there is an avenue to redress when you're on a no-fly list. And so he took that. And he's been fighting for a long time. And only now, the Supreme Court says you do have a case, move forward. So, but there's a tie between him being an informant and being on the list. And then the others, the Nuremberg 4, those 4 guys that were released by a judge, all of them, the last one was released not too long ago, 2024, because the FBI, they got them, entrapped them. They gave them the bomb. I mean, this is a criminal, but he wasn't a heavy criminal, like, knew how to do this. But the article stated, and that we read before, they gave them the bomb. They asked this one guy to get some friends to be a lookout and to do something with this bomb. I mean, pretend that you're gonna bomb the temple, the Jewish temple. So, and they found him in a mosque. So he did. He got some lookouts, and he told this mosque, he put a threat out that he was gonna blow up this mosque. And meanwhile, what do? They clamp down on him. They come in and arrest them and do all this stuff. The guy's shocked. Like, you told me to do this. You gave him $250,000. They offered him $250,000 to do it. Just got out of prison or whatever, he's broke, he needs the money, he says, okay. So they go in, they're doing their time, facing big time for this bomb threat, and they had a bomb, so they thought they were gonna blow it up, and they mocked them as terrorists, okay? So, but he was supposed to be like this informant and found these other people to join with them. So I'm just seeing just a tie-in with the FBI using this avenue. So we're gonna look at Diddy. Diddy is now being called an informant, and that he gives up people to the FBI, they're saying. And we're just gonna look at a peek of what they're saying about him, and then some lists that he has. I'm hearing about that, I didn't even see yet, but let's take a sneak peek at both of those videos and then come back for comments. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I can hear you. Let's go. Great.
Yeah, so the music in the background is louder than his. And then the other video is actually not playing the audio. So, there you go.
Okay,
These prisoners are upset with playing these videos right now.
okay. All right, Jane, thank you so much. And Jane, by the way, is the moderator for the Morgellons conference call. It's only by invite. It's a special area group, but thank you, Jane, for the service that you provide to your group. Thank you for helping today.
Yes, thank you, Jane. Wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everybody, Tranquility, everybody.
Yes,
I think. And then,
Tranquility.
hi, I'll be coming back and reading some of the text as well too after a while.
Okay, all right, so this big thing with Diddy, I mean, it's, as they say, it's his turn, so they're going at him hard. He's been in, so if he's been an informant, which is what's being alleged, that's what's being stated, that he's an informant, so he works with the FBI supposedly, turning over information on different people, blackmail information about other celebrities. And now the rug is being pulled from under his feet. So it's just gonna be a very interesting time. I'm not sure with him yet if he is a target or he has been targeting others. So that's something that we're gonna watch closely as we know that something is happening. So as all these lawsuits come to the surface and start prevailing and we start winning and it's broken up, it seems that they're doing a few things. One, they're putting out misinformation.
Yeah.
They're trying to disunite the community. So when you hear information that doesn't go along with what you thought already or you know to be true, then you have to, they have this thing on, is it Facebook or whatever, or on social media, period, where you can fact check something. Fact check it.
Everything.
Fact check it.
Yeah.
People are so quick, they say that a rumor can go around the world before the truth gets out of bed.
Wow, now that's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that. A rumor can go around the world before the truth gets out of bed.
Wow.
When you hear something, don't just repeat it, check it first, especially if it has to do with targeted individuals, if it has to do with targeted justice lawsuit, if it has to do with guys getting after dinner jam, if it has to do with Sandy and I shall Boom Show, if it has to do with anything of relevance, check it before you repeat it, because it's trying to, right now, we're at a point, it's like very delicate points that we're at. This FISA bill or whatever this ordinance is, we don't want them to renew it for another day. On April 20th, we want to be able to write a letter to everybody and say, there's no more FISA. If you've done this and that, so and so and so, blah, 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 stop doing this and that with my information, but we want to be able to take action on it. We don't want them to have to wait any past April 19th. We already had to wait because this is the second deadline.
Yes.
Because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. So, all right, so that's one, check information. So the move is right now to put out misinformation, to have us pointing at each other or other people for us not to get along, to have there be trouble in the camp. And, and I keep on having to refer to biblical things, but remember the Bible when God he confused the people that were working on the Tower of Babel, who said they were gonna make this tower all the way up. And he confused them because he said, when people get together with a mind to work,
right,
and they're united, then there's nothing they can't do.
And he said that.
Right.
So
if we get together
yes,
with a mind to work, there's nothing we can't do. He confused their language so they couldn't. But he's not doing that with us. He's here with us. He wants it to happen. We have to unite and we have to make moves. We really have to make moves. So, all right. Where was I? Disinformation to have us not united, to have us scared,
Yes, fear.
And that fear, that whole fear factor, that we do things because we're afraid, that we get in trouble with the law. They would love us to be in any institution, whether it be in prison or a mental health institution. They'd love for us to be it because then they control us. Homeless in the cars, it just goes on and on. And so they attack us and they have leverage, and so do we. So I'm thinking of some things where we can pull our leverage together. I received a letter about it from a veteran, and she's not a veteran, but this woman I have so much respect for. I'm not gonna name her, but she was suggesting that we put billboards, take some money from each other, put billboards up.
Yeah.
That we put messages in the periodicals, in the newspapers, that we tell that we not vote. And I suggested, well, maybe no, we'll tell them we will vote for the ones who are gonna do A, B, C, and D.
Right. Well,
So-
that's power right there.
Yeah.
We say, because it's a million of us, a million plus around the world.
Right.
And if even in the United States, we say, we're not voting, we're TIs, but we're not gonna vote for you unless we get this from you.
Right. So we wanna get our message out there of how many we are, and what we want. That FISA petition that we signed was great, because that was my largest petition, over 2,000 people. And thank you to Jane and thank you to everyone on TikTok who really helped with that. So the FISA petition was a good sign that we can get that group of people together would be great to make some moves and to tell the politicians what we want.
Yeah.
We can make demands, and we need to be able to do that. We need to get in position to do that. So that's what I'm thinking. We're gonna hear from you now, and then we're gonna close out because we have some events coming up and things we need to do today. But that's why I wanted to come on early for the jam.
Yes.
And back in San Antonio. So I hope you enjoy so far what we're doing, and I'm gonna make some announcements in a minute, but we're gonna hear from you first. Okay, so if you have a question or comment, please get in queue. And Sandy, did you wanna look at YouTube? Or?
Yeah, let me look and see what we have. So I won't be on the camera, I can look here, it's bigger. Okay, no more visa.
She has so many monitors, I don't know where to look, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can look here. Yeah. Okay, so love hearing the elephant down. Okay, so thank you, ladies, sending some love your way. Thank you, Edie.
Thank you.
Hey, HT Survivor, I thought you were coming on. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Andrew. Hi, I thought you were coming, but maybe next time. Hi, Chris from the TI Targeted West. DJ Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Clarence, Happy New Year. Okay. Oh, okay, well, he's saying Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Lauren Birch is hijacking. Hello, it's Ken at a TI. We already
Hi,
said that.
Ken.
Yes, so that's all for now.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, we're gonna see, is anybody in queue? I don't have my phone, which I usually keep with me, so I can communicate.
And how would I, see?
I'll have to hear verbally. Do we have anybody in queue? And if so, I'll take their questions.
No,
Okay, then if not,
I don't see, no, not at this time.
Thank you, Tranquility from TIEvents.org. So at this time, we're going to close down. Really want to say is, I want to have a few announcements. We have a busy April month, and in April, next week, we're gonna deal with mental health issues or psychiatric issues. It's called Psychiatry and the TI. So I have possibly one or two mental health providers that deal with psychiatry, and they're both able to diagnose. They're both able to review your diagnosis if you've been misdiagnosed. And oftentimes as TIs, we are misdiagnosed because we start telling people what's going on, just like Cardi B is doing. I hear voices in my head telling me this and that. And so it's when you tell people this kind of stuff, and they're not aware of the program,
Right.
what are they gonna think? What would you think
Yeah.
before this, you know?
Right.
So, that's how the misdiagnosis comes, and they're gonna talk to us about that. So one of them or two of them, I'll make a decision, but we're gonna deal with mental health next week. And after that, on the 23rd, we have a special guest that is none other than Mr. Richard Lighthouse himself. So I have a few topics that I would like him to deal with our listeners, and he'll be here pleasantly dealing with us. And then on the 30th, I'm gonna review the laws all over, the laws that we have, Michigan, Maine, Massachusetts, Texas, Tennessee, and there's a C state that also has laws that help the targeted individuals. So TI-friendly laws, I call them, and we want to pull something together so that by cluster in May, we can start going around and having little meetings with our elected officials. So get ready, because this could be very impactful. This will be before they close down, and then we'll do it again in the fall while they open up before Election Day. And we want to try to pull our leverage together, because we do have leverage as TIs. We too many times we're feeling like we're the ones who have nothing and they have everything, we're invisible, but we do have power. So we have to use the power that we do have. All right, I want to remind you to look at Real Targeted Justice on Rumble. Friday, there's a medical symposium that will be hosted again by Todd Callender and Sally Priestley. Please, I hope I'm not botching up these names, but anyway, it's on the Targeted Justice website, and it's also on tievents.org, so look that up. There's going to be a state contact meeting coming up for everyone who's a state contact, but that's by invitation only. But after that, we're gonna work with the clusters to get to the move that we're gonna make. Anna Toledo has filed the response to the last lawsuit.
Yay! Again.
So that has been filed, and we look to hear a response back, and possibly that would give us the rally that we've been wanting in Louisiana, if we get the en banc. So if you know how to pray. That would be that the full court will look at what we're saying. And that's what we want, because before 3 judges did, we want the full court to look at it. And that's our goal. So if that's the case, if we do get that date, get ready. Get your shoes on. We're going to Louisiana.
We're going to the boot.
For the rally. And also, let's see, check my YouTube page, Gogi's After Dinner Jam, please. And what do we got there?
Oh, I have a couple questions. It says, can you help us deal with family members who won't deal with this problem? They know that you're going through, they know about it, but they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Very good question. First, I would say very gingerly, because we know that it is real and that the threat is real. The targeting program does little things like wear colors in front of you, to big things like put poison in your food when you go out, or tamper with your medication. Those are really serious things. So they do little things and they do very serious things. And people don't really want to sign up for getting something done to them. And so some people are afraid. Even your family can be afraid or frightened by them. So, and sometimes they do approach your family members, and sometimes they do turn against you. And sometimes they, don't want to deal with it. But if you want them to believe it, I wrote a book, it's called Gogi's 10 Signs Which Indicate You Are a Targeted Individual. I would recommend the book, because if they read about it, they'll know exactly what you're going through. They'll know what it entails, and they'll get a better understanding of it. So I would send them the ebook and ask them to read it. And if they just don't want to deal with it, I would just let it go. Just let it go. You can't force someone to deal with something that you're going through. You keep dealing with it. You keep preserving yourself, protecting yourself, praying about it if you pray, doing what you have to do. Stay into touch with people who do understand other TIs. Stay in touch with other TIs. Continue with the conference calls. Let this family be your family.
Yes.
Okay? Let this family be your family, the TI family. I found a new family, and I have my family on pause.
Yes, that's awesome, I like that. Yeah, we'll, hello, yes, hi Nancy. You said
Hi,
by the way, Nancy, well, I have HT Survivor Awareness, I don't know, have your name. Give us your name. And Lauren, it says, the closest people to you are the people who are involved in your targeting, more than likely.
So sad.
Yeah.
Sad and probably
true.
true.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, it's so sad.
So, in saying that, it's just like you're saying, we are dissolving that elephant piece by piece.
Yes.
And so, yeah, this is your new family. I consider this my new family. So, Targeted Justice Gogi and the Jam, you guys. So, this is it. Yes.
Meet up with trusted TIs. You know, there are, and not to say there aren't perps that pretend to be TIs, they are. You know, learn the signs, trust your instincts.
Oh, yeah.
And just I was saying, to fact check information that you hear, rumors and so forth, fact check the person and people too. So get to know what signs a real TI would do, how they behave and so forth, and then otherwise. So do your, listen to yourself. And and I'll just say one more thing. 1 + 1 = 2. And this is one of my, I believe it was a honeypot, told me, and I didn't want to believe that perhaps my high school friends had taken my phone, but they were the only ones visiting my other high school friend and myself that day when it went missing. So 1 + 1 = 2. So don't let your emotions get in the way. Where I would say, oh, they would never do that. I don't think they would do that. No. It's not about thinking. It's about math. 1 + 1 = 2. All right. So, unfortunately, we are, and I heard Roger say this earlier, our relationships are attacked from, associates to marriages are brutally attacked.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we get to decide what to do with them when we start picking up the pieces. When we unravel this mess and we have the truth in front of us, we get to decide how we want to move forward. And we ain't gonna be pro. Yeah. All right, so.
Yeah.
All right, so hang in there. It's not easy. Trust me, I know. But hang in there, preserve, protect, and pray.
Great.
Okay, anything else, Tranquility? We good?
Someone come in the queue or?
We're all set.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everybody, la-di-da-di.
Well, it was an awesome, great day, another time to spend with my targeted family, Gogi, Jim, Roger Nelson, Tanisha Cole, they're here, other family TIs that are veterans. So to reach, to reach me online, it's Sandra at ishallbloom.com, and then my talk show is I Shall Bloom Talk Show on YouTube.
I can be reached there, if you want to come on the show and tell your story. And also too, Gogi, introduce Gogi, tell your stuff. This is her show.
Guys, y'all know, you reach me through tievents.org. You know how to get my information. YouTubers, check out my channel. Gogi's After Dinner Jam, Gogi, Gogi''S, Gogi's After Dinner Jam is on YouTube. Check out my channel. I'm also on TikTok. Did take a pause, but I'll be back.
Yeah.
And so like me on TikTok, share, like, subscribe, or whatever they say.
Like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because you never want to miss a premiere episode of the show. And I can be, my TikTok is I_shall_bloom too. So I want to hear from you, and we are family. So we'll have another one of these soon. It's always successful and always a blessing just to see my TI family, and God bless each and every one of you. And stay safe.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe, stay strong.
And remember, I shall bloom, you shall bloom,